Brightest blessings, everyone. Psychic medium Elizabeth Grove, the Paranormal Priestess. Welcome to the Paranormal Priestess YouTube channel, and thank you so much for being here. If you are new to the channel, welcome. My name is Elizabeth. I am a medium, divine channeler, remote spirit extractor, white witch, and divine alchemist, and I also happen to be a divine twin flame on the path to reunion. If you live in the northern hemisphere, spring is almost here. That means it is time for us to clear. This video is dedicated to clearing out your soul. Spring cleaning for the soul. We can sure use it, right? So this video really can be utilized by anyone, whether if you're in the northern hemisphere or the southern hemisphere. So we hold on to a lot of stuff, right, guys? We've been on a spiritual journey if you're watching this for some time. And we hold on to a lot of stuff. There's a lot of cobwebs. There's a lot of skeletons in the closet, right? And it's been rough. It's been exhausting for a lot of us. But this is the time now where we want to bring in this new beginning. We're flowing along with the earth and her cycles, right? We want to bring in that light. We want to get those cobwebs out. We want to get those skeletons out. We don't want to hold on to the junk, to the density that doesn't serve us. We want to allow brand new, exciting possibilities and new manifestations and brand new energy in a positive way so we can absolutely move forward. And I want to touch on some things here with this video, and please stick around because at the end of the video I will be doing a light language transmission. I know you guys love when I do the light language transmissions, and I want to do this one to help you with cleaning out your soul, things that no longer serve you, that have been holding you back, that have limiting you in any way. Let's talk about some of those things. Let's touch on some of those. So we hold on to a lot of those old memories. Let's kind of talk about the skeletons in the closet. A lot of old memories, right? Everything is eternal, right? But we hold on to these memories, some of them which are traumatic, some which are very hard. They have a lot of emotion attached to it, lower emotion. You could say trapped memories. You could say repressed emotions. And a lot of this stuff comes from growing up. We've had some hard circumstances, perhaps things at home with mom and dad, the environment wasn't really the greatest. Right? Perhaps we've gotten bullied. Perhaps we felt like we didn't belong. We felt very isolated. We felt like we weren't good enough, and so on and so forth. So some of these old memories and these traumatic experiences can absolutely create false beliefs about ourselves and life, limited thinking, self-sabotaging types of thinking. And we're holding on to a lot of pain a lot of times, right? For many of us, we try coping, whatever that coping may be, whether it's distraction through technology or distraction through eating or distraction through drinking, or for some medications or drugs or gaming or sex or whatever that kind of coping mechanism is, but it never gets to the core of the pain there. Well, now is a really great time to pay attention to some of the things that you are feeling, some of the things that are trying to get your attention, and see where you can bring this gentle energy to it, where you can bring this compassion to it. So we're not trying to kick things out. It's more like an inventory, right? Because when you're cleaning out your closet, you're cleaning out your space, you're not automatically just going to take things and just chuck them. Well, hopefully you're not going to just chuck them. You want to take some inventory as to, okay, do I want to hold on to this? Is this still serving me? Is it not serving me? So this is a great time to do that inventory. If you're finding that you're still holding on to resentment, if you're finding you're still holding on to not forgiving yourself or not forgiving someone else, then pay attention to that. And allow this sunlight that's now coming in, because the solstice is coming in on March 21st. So we have the equinox, right? The spring equinox, also known to the Celts as Ostara. We have this light coming in, so it's time to really work with that light. Work with the season. Work with the moons, right? Work with the sun. work with the seasons, the cycles. We want to flow along with everything because we are interconnected with all living things. That's what the Druids knew, right? And it is so. We are interconnected with everything. So let's, think about this. And if you are having a hard time where you're holding on to old pain, perhaps it's from a beloved, old pain from parents, from childhood, whatever it could be, experiences that were just really, tragic or traumatic. Perhaps there was a death in your family, or a friend passed away, or something to that effect. We want to bring that light in. We want to bring that sunlight in. We want to bring that beautiful light to shine on that darkness and to acknowledge that darkness. I also always suggest to bring in compassion, that gentle energy. Rather than have it be harsh, have it be aggressive, those things just end up bringing an inner conflict, as I've talked about before. It's really a time to bring in the compassion. So if you haven't forgiven yourself for something, if you felt like you've made a lot of mistakes in your life, we all make mistakes, right? But what are the mistakes? Mistakes are really learning lessons. They're for our growth. They're for our development, our evolution. So changing the way we perceive things is a really helpful thing too. And that will really help for bringing in new energy is changing the perception. Perhaps there was a negative perception there that you haven't noticed before. So we all go through things, and we go through these different scenarios in life, and you have to realize that you did the best that you could at that time, right? And the people who have been around you, the family members, the siblings that you grew up with, they did the best that they could at the time with the awareness that they had. So there's this higher understanding there when we're taking the inventory, is that, okay, this is really the truth of it. Let's get the illusions out, clear those illusions out, clean those illusions out, and look at the truth of things. So if you find that you are still holding on to something, or you're feeling something in your body, you're feeling the emotions there, pay attention to it, acknowledge it. Bring that compassion, bring that gentle energy, bring that light into those areas, and send those things love. Send whatever you deem as mistakes, send those love, those habits, those beliefs, those behaviors, whatever it is. Send your body love. Okay, if you're not connecting with your physical body in a loving way, a lot of people have that issue. Sending that love, that gentleness, that compassion there is really, really going to help. Okay, because where there is love, where there is light, you can't go wrong. Love heals all. It really, really does. It's all about aligning with love. So just take some inventory there. Is something not serving you? Something still hurting you? Are you still holding on to guilt? Are you still holding on to regret? Those are really low types of emotions. They bring down our energy. They prevent us from moving forward. They create this limited type of thinking. There's programming that develops there, mental programming, which is not helping us at all. It's only sabotaging us. Those are the things. Those are the things in the closet that we want to be able to take inventory of and cleanse them out. Other things like cords. Okay, now for a lot of people, they don't realize that they could be walking around, and it's not to frighten anyone, but we come into contact with lots of different energies. So some of them are very friendly and they're good to have around, and other times it is the absolute opposite, right? It's a nightmare. But what we don't realize is that we can really develop cords, even cords with old lovers. And we don't want this cord energy. We don't want the emotional cord energy, the sexual cord energy, because what it's doing is it's draining our vitality. It acts like this vampiric type of energy. Now, keep in mind that beings can do this, entities can do this as well. So we won't want those cords there. Archangel Michael is an absolutely great archangel, powerful archangel to work with to cut you free from cords, cut you free from fear, period, right? Cut you free from negativity. But I would definitely, take some time and to ask that any cord that could possibly be there on your multidimensional bodies across all time and space be cut, be released. Any negative energetic line, If anyone has access to your energy in any way, whether it be a person, whether it be an entity, that this be removed, this be cleared, and that you be sealed up, that your auric fields be repaired, any holes repaired, and sealed up with the gold light, the Christ light, the great central sun. Always think about the great central sun and the light, because that's what we're bringing in. That's what we're aligning with. That is the ascended master light right there. It's the Christed light. So that's another thing about cords. We also go through a lot of karmic circumstances, right? So for some of us, we may be holding on to ancient karma. Right? We go through, for those of you who are beloveds or a twin flame journey, however you want to state that, we hold on to ancient karma. There's actions that happen between us and the beloved that were negative, right? Think regret, guilt, blame, resentment, betrayal, all those types of things. And that still plays out from incarnation to incarnation. So, we want to be able to cleanse that karma, have that karma cleansed. Any type of karma, if it's ancient karma, if it's karma from now, it's all about actions from people. It's the universal law of karma. Now, those universal laws are changing from what I understand. We are getting the chance now to really end karma on this planet. That's why. And so this is a really exciting time on planet Earth. For karma, I really always recommend working with the violet fire. Violet flame, violet fire. You can call in Archangel Zachiel, the seventh ray, to work with the ultraviolet fire angels to purify. They really can purify anything, negative energy of all types, thoughts, emotions, diseases, yes, karma. They can dissolve anything and turn it into that sunlight that we talked about, the gold light. Okay, so that's just another one there. And here's a great idea for some of your spring cleaning. You might want to bring in the ultraviolet fire angels to come in to also your physical space and purify the entire physical space of any negative energy, anything that is residual, anything that's there that might be affecting you in any way, in an adverse way, and cleanse it and turn it back into the gold light of God, back into that 12th ray, the Christ consciousness, the great central sun. And allow that great central sun to permeate your entire space, seal it up, and bring in that energy that's positive, preventing negative energy from entering. So that's another great idea that you might want to think about to bring in to help you out. Old promises, old vows, even religious ones from the past, any agreement that was made. Now, all of these things could either be done on the unconscious level or the conscious level, but any of these could also still be affecting you from moving forward. They could be affecting you from moving forward into ultimate health and well-being. They can prevent you from moving forward in a happy way where you are manifesting at your highest ability. They can prevent you from moving forward to a higher spiritual love connection. So those are other things that, some of you may have missed. For instance, some people have made vows in other lifetimes where, say it was religious vows that promote suffering is the way to enlightenment. Right? Ultimate suffering, that I have to suffer, that I have to be a martyr in order to achieve growth and enlightenment. Well, that would be really, really harmful. So in another lifetime, perhaps it's this lifetime for you, you've had a lot of struggles with a lot of suffering, maybe even physical suffering, right? Suffering in every area. And this has been a way that your soul has chosen to learn. But that doesn't have to be anymore. So it's going to be all about just taking account that we don't need to hold on to this old stuff anymore, whether in this lifetime or other lifetimes. Okay, we can request, we can affirm, we can absolutely put it out there that we no longer want this going. In other words, we revoke any of those vows, we release any of those vows, any of those agreements that don't serve us. We're going to release this. Any permissions that we have given unconsciously or consciously to people who have been maybe negative people or false light beings, permissions that we've given even to entities. Now, think of the past, think of ancient lifetimes. A lot of people out there, I know you guys have been things like medicine people and druids and magical folk. And you have to think about all those different entanglements that we get ourselves into, where we may still be walking around with these cords or these negative energetic lines to these things. And we may still be functioning with our energy off of these agreements, off of letting through these things, these people, these false beings or these dark beings, where it's still affecting our energy fields, right? It's still affecting our multidimensional bodies and our being. So again, this is not to bring fear to anyone. This is just to bring awareness of some of those things that may still be in the closet there, skeletons in the closet that are preventing this new energy, this high vibration from coming in. Old timelines that don't serve. I can't tell you how many times I've done readings for people where they're still holding on to an old timeline, okay? They're unable to move forward from that timeline. Perhaps they feel like they lived in a certain time or certain years for them were their best years, and they're still living in the past. They're still holding on to maybe an old marriage or holding on to an old imagery of themselves, holding on to their youth from the past, or whatever it is that they may be holding on to is this charmed time. It's all about living in the present. It's not about living in the past. We want to release those old timelines. If there has been any hurts or pains between beloveds or twin flames, where say there's been betrayal, there's been words exchanged that have been really harsh, really hurtful. I do find that a lot of beloveds hold on to those times, hold on to that timeline. Archangel Michael speaks about this all the time. And there is this fear, there's this thought process now developed where I don't know if I can trust this person. I still feel like what's going to happen between this person and I will be that same event or those same events. It's still holding on to those timelines because there's still unforgiveness there. There's still emotions to work out there. There's still a release to do there. There's a healing to occur. So some things to think about with old timelines. There's also things like false timelines. We want to give ourselves the greatest trajectory here, right? Movement forward to whatever we decided to really achieve with our ascension on our path. We want to take that road, right? We don't want to take these other back alleys, so to speak, and create those back alleys when we don't need to. So if there are false timelines there or old timelines, we want to be able to disconnect from those. And you can always ask your team. You can ask Archangel Michael to help you in disconnecting from those, so that way you are not connected like that. You can move forward on your path to your best and highest self. Okay, so worries, doubts, fears, limited thinking, false beliefs of self. Some things to also take inventory of are the ancestral or bloodline connections there, as well as how the 3D Society's programming has come into play there with you developing false beliefs about your body, or false beliefs about society, or false beliefs or fears about what you're capable of, or if you can achieve, or if you can be secure. And whatever that thinking is, whatever that self-sabotaging thinking is, there's always root causes behind those. So, when we grow up, we get a lot of those messages, right? Now, this is not to blame our ancestors. This is just to know this is where they were at, right? History shows us this is just where they were at, their thinking, the way their conscious was. And then there's society, right? There's TV, there's the news, there's commercials, there's all these things always constantly throwing messages at us. And just think of all the technology, right? We're always on our technology. I try to take my breaks. That helps, by the way. But even things like social media and the messages that are sent there, it can be really very disturbing, could be very damaging, it could be very limiting. And there's also subliminal messages there to understand too that could be there. So, these types of things, we want to be able to clean them out so that way we can step into our creator, our co-creating ability, our co-manifesting ability. That's when we are functioning, we're operating as a sovereign being. So if there are messages that are stored within us that are limiting us or manipulating us, right? Think about the 3D constructs and stuff like that. We want to give that request out, to our highest spiritual team of light, to our angels, to our star races, whoever we work with, that we wish for the release of any unconscious or conscious programming that we picked up from the matrix, that we picked up from our bloodlines throughout all time and space that's limiting us in any way. Okay, so keep that in mind because that's certainly a cleansing that's really important. And holding on to items. Let's talk about some of the physical stuff there because it really does interplay, right? The spiritual plane actually, is connected to the physical plane. As I said, all living things, we are connected to the earth. We're connected to everything, right? And whatever's going on within us is also going to be a reflection of our outward reality. So we want to make that inward experience a positive experience, a high vibrating experience, and then we'll be able to create in our physical reality, wonderful high vibrational things, opportunities, people, highest love partnership, best health and well-being, but we have to take that inventory and go into that closet. But the physical space, people don't realize, and I learned a lot of this with Wicca, is that having corners cluttered. Like think of if you have a lot of books that are, someone is guilty of this from time to time because I like to collect a lot of books and a lot of stuff. I have a lot of items as a witch. My gosh, where do I put them all? Well, do I need it? Do I really need to hold on to all of this stuff? Do I need this book anywhere? Do I need all 10,000 books? Do I need all of these ritual items, to do magic? Or do I only think that I need it? Right, so this is that inventory there. So before you go chucking things out, it's inwardly or outwardly, see if, do I really need to hold on to this? Do I need to hold on to these papers? Do I need to hold on to these old books? Do I need to hold on to any of this old stuff? And are you blocking any of the corners in your home where the energy can't freely flow? Because guaranteed, if you start clearing out the clutter in your home, you're also cleaning out any of that chaos within yourself too. Like you're clearing out that energy, you're allowing the new energy to come in. That's giving you a sense of peace, right? That's cleansing also for your soul, that you're doing that too. They really interwork, right? They work off of each other. When you're clearing those corners, you're allowing that brand new energy to come through, okay? When you're getting rid of old items and old stuff, you're basically sending out that message to yourself and to the universe that, hey, I want to have a new, fresh start, new beginning, new energy now, please come to me. You're giving that message there about the new energy flow coming in. Cleansing the space, I also like to use Palo Santo is a great one. Sage is great for this kind of thing, not if you have really dark entities or something that's really high conscious and dark. Sage is not going to do the trick. But for something like cleaning your space out, sage is fantastic. You can get to all the corners, get into the closets too. Make sure that you crack doors, you crack windows for this, guys. Okay, you want to do that. Well, first of all, you want to be able to have the ventilation, and second off is that you want also you want that old energy to go out, and you want the new breeze or the air element to come in and bring new energy in. I like pine a lot too. Pine is very, very cleansing. There's so many things. We'll have to do videos on oils and herbs and stuff if you want me to do that. But cleansing is really fantastic in that way, clearing out corners, clearing out things that you no longer need, simplifying your life a little bit more. Just feels so great, and it feels so peaceful, and it doesn't give you that anxiety. It doesn't give you that, oh my gosh, I can't keep up. I don't know where anything is. Oh my gosh, it creates a lot of anxious energy. It really, really does. So when you simplify things, it just feels a lot more peaceful and a lot more balanced. So you might want to simplify things a little bit more, scale things down. That would be good. That would be good. A good time. If you are, looking to do something wonderful for the community, and hopefully you are, think about donating some of the items that you don't use. Think about clothes that you don't use, or even books that maybe kids could use some books. Whatever that you can't use, remember that your stuff is also treasures, right, to somebody else. So maybe they're not serving you anymore because you've changed, you've outgrown them, you don't need them anymore. But just think of the joy and the beautiful energy it can bring to someone else. Or if someone doesn't have those things, it means the world to them. So, and anytime you're giving, it's always a beautiful thing. You're doing it with your heart and soul. And the universe recognizes that, and you're not doing it just because of that, but the universe recognizes that, and so much good will come your way as you give to others. So it's so worth it. It really is. And spring is a fantastic time. Bring in the sun. Bring in that great central sun. Bring in that light. Okay, whether it's for your health, it's for your well-being, it's for your protection. It's for any of those dark corners and those dark places, those dark spaces. Of your soul, of the physical space. Anytime you're bringing in the great central sun, the Christ light, this beautiful high vibrating light is that unified source light, and it really does. It does so much. It really does. It brings through all the colors of the spectrum, okay, of the rainbow, and it's why we're here. We're here to achieve that Christ-led light. So many of you, who are watching the videos, you are advanced souls, you are star beings, you are angelics, you are beloveds or twin flames. And so definitely think about the Christ-led light and where it could be applied in your life. So now I'm going to do the light language transmission for cleaning out what no longer serves you. Just keep in mind that when I do this light language transmission, you could be feeling some chills, you can be feeling energy moving around, you can feel some tingling, and this may bring up some things for you, bring them up to the surface within a day or so where it wants to be acknowledged, so that way you can bring healing and allow those things to dissolve with love and release. So, light language can do that. So it's there that it's healing, it's clearing, it's activating. But I know you guys love it, and I am always here to offer light language healing sessions for individuals. If you're interested in contacting me, I'll share my information at the end. So here is going to be the light language transmission for spring cleaning for your soul. Dua nuka dua sanya. Inesa tua shisia tiki dunduru sunyumya ya. Ila soko na autua shia esesia tiki ndre susoya nika. Onto atiki shishia tutua sesea leo tua nie. Indro soko kodre skemya tukushi shishia tua sese. Ento koya seka otro. E baka tukuse andatike le susuyai. Entoko shua niki se risukudre peketre kishia tugasaki etrasaka niashiki etrusio nya nyosia nieketre siamiatri. Otro yasukuya sonya eshikinua esisiela esekie meketre kisushuani pekietka. Onyo omiaka nutrishua and the kietugo. Ondrosoko ya mia to kodrasi andrikia te kishnyanra drogosondra pekadreshiala. Intikisia de erushuya ishuya ushuya pikia tuka yutuya seki in the dream. Beato to andra trasakia to kodra sununre trisusia teki edresakia nikeshia to condorsia lola adua the kia de keseke pekadreshiala. Interesa kadrasinga tratnya kadranua ale elere pekadresi kadresi pekadresia ale adru suga aduka shakashua ashuku ale pekadra so kodre nikia nya dua tekia eduka kwa dua mia tekela sunere ala de que pekeshika tresi kadria nungu tekushiu nya otuishi ebiti si yasekia Edere que ato koshunya pekia to ko o sunya ko yo. Edere que se que me andra atro kudria shua. Edere que sa nia atro tu. Ete que katreshi sa sanria la tu aki. Nina. Ni ato ka ni ke ato kushua. Ese si a ni ato koshia sa kani atki. Edere que sa inu to ya ha. Edere que si ni ese. Auto koshukonia sokoya, tukutua te kiera kadra sunia biadrisi. Take a deep breath. Release. Okay. Cleansing now begins for you. Let me know down below how you felt with that. If you want to let me know, keep me posted as to what you felt from that transmission afterwards. Love to hear. And if you would like to contact me for a personal reading, for a light language healing session, if you are someone that feels like that there is negative interference in any way, and the tools that I've been offering are not, you feel like they're not enough, you need that extra help, you can always contact me for any of my services. Contact me on the paranormalpriestess.com. What I do from there is I have to check in with my spiritual team of light, make sure that it's a vibrational match and it's the highest good for both involved. And if so, then I will let you know to go ahead and purchase, and we will schedule that. Okay, so I'm going to leave all of my contact information in the description below. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. I love you guys. Take care. Remember, from the heart of the darkness is born the light. Happy spring to everyone. Brightest blessings. And I will see you soon.